In the previous video, we pumped up the static and differential pressure, and one thing you might have noticed that they're not quite reading zero, so we'll go through how to calibrate those to zero. So if you go to calibrate inputs, you pick your sensor. I only have one sensor connected, so I just pick sensor 1, but if you have a few, you need to make sure you're calibrating the right sensor. We'll start with static pressure, so I'll select static pressure and hit next. One thing that Realflo will do, it will hold the current or it can hold the current value or a fixed value. So if this was an actual running site, you'd want to hold the values while you're doing this calibration, but for this it's just on a test bench, so it doesn't make a difference. So I'll just hold the current values. So now that it's holding current values, if this is a real site, you'd want to take it apart now that the values are held in place. So we're going to make the applied pressure, because right now we have the isolation valves open, the equalizing valves open, the vent open, and the pump that's connected to the vent depressurized here. We're reading a true zero, so what we're going to do is record that. So we'll go next. And it says, do you wish to calibrate the device? So we will go yes and go next. And now we're going to pick re0. So now we're reading right on 0. Now that's done, we can select next. And then we will record this again. Now you can see the applied value, the measure values are quite a lot closer than last time. Hit next. And then now you could go ahead and reconnect the sensor, because as soon as you hit next, it's going to pull the force values off. So now when it will spit out a calibration report for you, here's where you can put all the information. So you could go lease 524, whatever number you want, name of purchaser, it's Mark. And you can fill out all this information. You could put other info here. And then when you select next, you'll save the report, and then it'll also open the report as well. You could also pick don't save the report if you don't care to keep it. Hit finish. You now have your nice site report here with all the information. This is saved on your computer. You could send this to somebody. And now if we hit update readings, you'll notice this 54 will be closer to 0. So now we're sitting at 0 for the static pressure. We'll do the same process for the differential pressure. Go calibrate inputs. Pick the sensor that we want. We only have one sensor. Hit next. Typically when you're doing this calibration, you do all three at the same time. You do temperature, static, and differential, but I've separated them. We just did static, so now we're going to do differential. And when you pick these, you can pick which ones you want to do first. But we're just doing one of them, so make it nice and easy. We'll hold the current values of this, but it's not a running site, so it's not a big deal. Sometimes if this goes into the negatives, you'll have to just force a fixed value. It won't hold a negative value in there. We'll record 0. Hit next. So it's a little bit off, but barely. We will calibrate this device. Hit next. We'll do the re0 first. And if you had an accurate pump, you could calibrate the entire span. I don't have an accurate pump, so I won't be doing that. We're just re-zeroing it for this video. Hit next. We will hit record. Now the recording is a lot closer, the deviation is a lot less, so we'll hit next. We'll reconnect all the sensors if this was in the field before we pull all the forces off. Hit next once that's done. Here we could put other info here if we wanted to, put any sort of information. You could delete this stuff, whatever you want to do for your report. Hit next. Save your report where you want to save it. We will click this to view it. There's apparently already a report with that name because I just used the default. We'll just select yes. So this is the new report that just spat out. Now if you go update readings, with all the valves open, the static and differential pressure is sitting right at 0. Thanks for watching this video.